This is an assignment guide to recording, analysing and using human resource information, also known as 3RAI. This is an assignment for the Level 3 Foundation Certificate in Human Resource Practice. The assignment guide is shown here on the second slide. You can see from this assessment brief that there are 2 activities that need to be completed for this assignment. Before you start, it's worth noting that the assignment is in 2 parts. The first part is a briefing note for your new HR director, and the second part includes an analysis and presentation of an area of HR data. This could be in a format that your company would use, and that means that you can be as creative as you like. Create your briefing note in Word, and this will enable electronic marking. Pay particular notice to the amount of items you are asked to include. You will be referred if you only provide 1 example and the assessment criteria asks you for 2. The briefing note should be approximately 500 words. Much less than this indicates you have not gone into enough detail, and much more than this indicates you've gone into too much detail. The first activity covers assessment criteria 1.1, 1.2, 2.1 and 2.2. It asks you to think that you have a new HR director and they have requested that you review the organisation's approach to collecting, storing and using HR data, and you need to produce a briefing note on your findings. Within your note you should cover the following: at least 2 reasons why the organisation needs to collect HR data, at least 2 types of data that is collected within the organisation and how each support HR practices, a description of at least 2 methods of storing records and the benefit of each, and a statement of at least 2 essential items of UK legislation relating to the recording, storage and accessibility of HR data. All this needs to be covered in a briefing note of 500 words. And it's worth noting this assessment criteria 1.1, providing 2 reasons why the organisation needs to collect HR data, is different and should be treated as such to assessment criteria 1.2, which asks how the data supports HR practices. There are further videos available which you can watch covering each assessment criteria in detail, and you will find the differences outlined more fully in those videos. Activity 2 covers assessment criteria 3.1 and 3.2. This one asks you, using your own organisation information or the CIPD survey report available through this link, you need to identify a specific area of data. You should analyse the data and present your findings in a way that will assist an aspect of decision making in the area of data selected. Your analysis should be presented in a report covering an introduction to the HR area being investigated, an explanation of how you analysed and interpreted the data, and your findings presented so that they enable decision making. Further videos are available to cover the assessment criteria in more detail. The final checks include: before you submit your assignment, have a proofread to check for spelling, grammar or punctuation errors. You need to double check that you have provided the requested number of examples for each assessment criteria. You should check that you have included a front page so the assessor knows that it is your assignment, and you should add your CIPD assessment form at the beginning of your work. You need to include both pages completed with your CIPD number and word count. As previously mentioned, there are a number of videos which support this assignment and go into the assessment criteria in more detail. I hope you find them useful and good luck with your assignment.